I have allergies, man. Pretty bad allergies today. Is your lens all fogged up? Because mine is. My lens is all fogged up. Tell you what, it's going to be really hard for me to get rid of an apartment with a jacuzzi. You know, though, the amount of money that I'm going to save by not having an apartment during June and July next year is going to be enough to pay for a really fancy jacuzzi like every 3 nights on the Tour Divide. You know, I have to get in good shape because I have to get to Fernie on the first night. If you can't get to Fernie on the first night, you have to camp in Bear Country in Banff. Which is a big, big deal. That's a big accomplishment to make it that far. There's some places you can't escape camping, but, and it's not like I don't mind camping, I really don't. But I'm gonna have to definitely go to that other place. Is that a pool thing? Is that woman covering her face? I think that woman was covering her. Why is she carrying a pool noodle? That woman just went by. She was walking by and she had a pool noodle. Why would you have a pool noodle? Was she thinking about coming here to go swimming or something? Or did she forget the pool noodle and she had to go get it one? What was going on with that? So yeah, I was thinking about I'm gonna probably move to Cottonwood in Arizona to do all the training and stuff. In October, the latest plan is I'm gonna move to Cottonwood. It might actually change from day to day, but you know it does change, right? But if I move to Cottonwood, then I can train all winter at just under 4,000 feet, which is it's the same thing as if I stayed in Logan and lived here. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's close. And it seems like it's reasonably affordable. Sedona, everybody goes there. It's like a huge tourist trap, and everybody goes there during the winter. All the the rich boomer retired people go there. So I'm not gonna do that. Sezona's too expensive. I can't even rent a single room in it, with roommates for under 1,000. It's insane. So I'm trying to get my expenses down enough that I could actually do this if I quit my job. I'm going to keep my job, obviously, but if I were to quit it and I were to just work, at a bike shop or doing tours, or, whatever, something simple, I could make ends meet, I'd be fine. I own my car, and I have some debt from business. If I could get rid of my business debt, I would be completely done. The Sea Bear was the other day who was saying, is like, but dude, you just paid $5,000 for a new bike. And I'm like, yep, I did. Because, that's why you save all the money, is so you can pay $5,000 for a bike. That's why you do it. Because priorities. So, anyway, that's the plan. I'm trying to deal with the calluses on my heels. It's kind of messing me up. Yeah. So, I don't know if it's too aggressive, but I'm actually thinking about just living out of my car all next summer, like the entire time. Because I'm gonna be, I can't really rent for June and July. I'm not even gonna be there. So why would I pay, upwards of $2,000 for a rent when I'm not even going to be in there? I'm not going to be home. I had the same problem when I was a river guide. When I was a river guide in college, you go home, you get a dorm room for the year, and then you go home for the summer, and you have to find a new apartment when you come back. I kind of have the same problem all over again. The difference is that my cycle is a little bit different from like a dorm room, like a college. Colleges are on kind of a college starts in August, right? So, and if you guys go to college, let me know if there's anybody here that actually goes to college. I doubt it. It's a Monday morning, and all the college kids are asleep. Because they're not in college anymore. They're out playing, they're on adventures and stuff like that. It's just people from Europe and that are probably here right now, which is fine. So I'm gonna move to Arizona during the winter, and then I can keep training outside. I don't like training indoors. I'm just gonna own it. I really liked Zwift. You guys know that? It's this indoor bike game, and I did a lot of training indoors with that. In fact, I credit Zwift with the reason I lost so much weight. I was doing it constantly. I was doing it every day. I mean, religiously. Like, I would watch movies, the big long movies, and I'd have these big long bike rides. But I want to do the same thing, but I want to do it outside now. So the best way to do that is to go someplace where I can do that all year. And you can do that with snow, but it's much harder. You got to put pretty serious gear on, and you have to have a fat tire snow bike. And Logan is the perfect place to do that, by the way. This is it. There is a chance I might stay here at some point and get some like really cheap place up in Paradise or whatever. I've thought about that even. I thought about like not being in downtown Logan or something, or maybe just being in downtown. I don't know. But currently, I mean, it would be kind of nice to live in two different places and like make friends in different places, And I don't know if I want to pay any rent during the summer, because June and July. So I'm gonna go do a bike tour, a guided bike tour. So like a week long guided bike tour that's fully supported, right? That means they give you all your meals and everything. Is $1,000. And I know that's a lot, but if you think about it, that's 7 days of no rent for $1,000 with all meals included. So at that point, I kind of got to ask myself, why am I not just doing guided bike rides, all summer, as long as I can work, enough to make that happen? And that's the biggest part of it, is I don't know I don't know if I could do that. If I were to ever quit my job, that's what I would do. I would go to work for Western or somebody that does mountain bike guiding trips, and I would do that. And the only thing stopping me from doing that is the debt that I incurred by trying to save the world and make a school to teach people how to code. And I still have something like $20,000 of debt on that I have to pay off.
And Akshunya says, go for it.
How you doing, Akshunya? I'm very close to being able to do that, guys. The problem is that they base your retirement off of the top years of salary. So, you know what I mean? You know what I could do? Oh my God, I just have an idea. All right, so the reason I can't quit work and retire at 60, and retire at 62, which is like 4 years, that's nothing, is because of the set retirement income. So, you know, I'm making really good money now, and that's great. And those 5 years, doesn't matter when they are. So in America, they take the 35 top years of salary that you have earned. Hey, good morning. They take the last 37 years. And 35 years. So they take 35 years, and then they calculate your base fixed income for the rest of your life on retirement. When you take retirement, you can't do it and then go back and say, I want to go back to work. And I think the limit that you can make working is like ridiculous. It's like $40,000 a year. The point is that the retirement system in America takes their highest 35 paying job years, I'm pretty sure. Again, they're talking about changing that, but so that makes it really, really, really important that I get these last few years in of high income, because every single one that I do is gonna tilt the scale, right? And I, in order to survive layoffs and stuff while I had young kids, I deliberately made sure I was one of the lowest paid employees, even though I was doing, you know, great things and getting awards and stuff. So, and so, you know, I've suffered because of that. It's always that I'm being a nice guy that I always get fucked. Because, like, for example, those 10 years, okay? The 10 years that I gave up my job and started teaching coding to kids and helped over 500-600 people who have personally, many of them have personally thanked me. Oh my God, you changed my life, including Misha Vandenberg, who's making crazy, crazy bank now. So I spent all this time helping all these people, and I ended up fucking myself in the process. Because during that time, I listed myself as making almost nothing because I didn't have the money to pay in taxes. I paid myself almost nothing because I was running the company, right? So for retirement purposes, those 10 years, I screwed myself. Not only did I take my retirement out at a 40% loss so that I could start the company. Oh my God, I did so many stupid things because I wanted to do the right thing. I am so dumb. I am so dumb, people. There's other people who are so smart. You know what it is? I'm that nice guy who gets fucked. That's what it is. All the time. I help a homeless guy cash a $100 lotto ticket. He's going to go buy crack cocaine with it. Call his drug dealer while I'm cashing his ticket for him. On camera. That happened. I'm that guy. I'm that guy who's constantly trying to help people out and then get fucking himself over. And I did that. I totally screwed myself over. I totally screwed myself over by having that. So that's 10 years of my life that I could have been making good money, right? So if you go back before that, the money I made was the highest I've ever made in, before this job I have, and it wasn't good. it was decent money, but it wasn't like really, really good. And I knew that. I knew that I was getting paid like 20, 30, 40% under what I should have been making. And so that means that the calculation of my fixed income until I die, and I'm going to stay very healthy, and I'm going to live a fucking long time. I'm going to get every dime of my retirement money and my Social Security out, because them boomers they've been living long and bankrupting Social Security. I'm going to be one of them. I'm going to live to be 100, and I'm going to have fun the whole time, and I'm going to stay healthy. And so I want a really, really, really high fixed income. I want it to be like really, really high, so that I can enjoy the latter years of my life. So many other people have screwed themselves over by not doing this. But if I do the calculation for what my yearly salary is going to be right now, it sucks, because even though I've been making great money, like really, really good money, almost double what I made in 2007. Let's see, no, 2010. That's when I left IBM. I'm making almost double that money now. Actually, I'm making more than double that money now. And if my annual fixed income is going to be based on the years at IBM and Nike, I'm going to be fucked. I mean, I won't be as fucked as much as other people who have not been making them. I would still be making way more than a lot of other poor souls on fixed income who never, cracked $100,000 a year or whatever. And I understand that. I've sounded a little arrogant talking about it this way, but so if, I do have investment. I have, I don't have any real estate or anything, but I do have like an IRA and all that. It's not a lot, but it's enough, right? I'm planning on working, and then the Twitch streaming. So if I can actually get, I'm not saying get big as a streamer, but if I can actually get the income from streaming up back around $500-600 a month, which it was at one point. It was when I was doing tech stuff, I was making about $500 or $600 a month on Twitch, and that was paying for my modems and everything, right? I mean, at the time I was spending way too much money on modems, and I've kind of pared that back now and figured that out. But that's if I could get if I could get a Hitch level Twitch following, which I don't think I could, because I don't focus on quality content the way he does. But I possibly could, because I would be doing 12-hour streams. So one of the guys who inspires me the most right now is what's his name? Kuma Monster. So Kuma Monster just abandoned everything and just started streaming and made it his whole entire life. And he's got 400 or 500 people that watch him. They watch him walk around everywhere. He's there every day. He's every day there for like 7 or 8 hours though, right? It's his job. But if you got 500 concurrent viewers and you're a partner on Twitch or YouTube, I would be comfortably able to live out of my car during the summer, no problem. And I could take it off and do tour divide. So the alpaca is one of our people who watches here, and he gave up his job so that he could cross the Canadian continent, and he did. If you're living on your bike, you're not spending a lot of money at all. I mean, it's like infinitesimally small compared to renting an apartment. With the cost of even renting a studio apartment or even a room in a dorm, let's say you got a really, really good deal, like my son Gordon got a deal in Moscow, Idaho. He's paying $400 a month. If you were to get $400 a month, you could live like a king on $400 a month if you're living on your bike. So like if that was literally it, if that the only thing you were doing was living on the bike, and all your stuff was taken care of, you weren't paying extra for storage someplace or whatever. In my case, I would have a car park that's got all my worldly possessions in some parking lot where I'm not paying for it at all, like with my family or something. At that point, I actually could do that. So I'm kind of, with the whole tour divide thing, I'm kind of actually planning. So yesterday we raided, I'm planning for a future where I live on the bike, like live on it, like stream and live on my bike, and legitimately am homeless, like by design. That is the goal. The goal is that by the time I retire, that I have a fixed income that pays for all my expenses, and I have enough money so I can do like a John and Mira. You guys know John and Mira? So John and Mira, John is a bike packer, a really famous bike packer at this point. And Mira is his dog, and he dog packs. He built a really fancy titanium bike to carry his dog, and they're internet famous for sure. And I'm pretty sure he's retired. I think he probably retired in his 50s. And he just bikes everywhere, man. He's constantly biking everywhere, living out of wherever he wants to. And I could really get into that. I could get into that lifestyle. I mean, it would get tiring, and occasionally during the winter or something, I'd want to have an apartment for like a week or two at a time. But after yesterday's bike packing that I did, I'm like totally wanting that as the goal. So then the goal becomes, how soon can I do this, right? How soon can I quit my job? Bottom line, how soon can I quit this job? And that comes then that comes into the calculation of your retirement money. So, I'm making 2 or 3 times more money than I made in before I got the current job I have, and I killed myself by having those really bad, that 10 years of running my own business. You think that would have made me really wealthy and well off? It didn't. It put me into massive debt, killed my retirement fund, and destroyed my fixed income during retirement. If I have one thing to recommend to everybody who's listening to me in America right now, do not follow the American dream. It will fucking destroy you. Hear me out. The American dream is that you can start your own business and live on your own terms, and you can work hard, and by the sweat of your brow, you can make it hard if you just work hard enough and you sacrifice and you put your nose to the grindstone. It's a fucking lie, everybody. It's a lie. The people who succeed at doing that get known by some dumb-ass venture capitalist accelerator like Steve Jobs did and like the other ones, and they get this money accidentally. They don't work hard. They sound like they're working hard, and at some point they might work hard, but most of the reason, Steve Jobs even said this, he said, mostly it's about luck. He said, mostly it's about luck and being in the right place. Because I worked my ass off. And I went to the banks and I said, look, I want to make the world a better place. I want to teach all these kids how to code because they're not doing it in the schools. I want to reform the world. I want to help them get great jobs and have great lives and everything. And it worked. It fucking worked. I helped hundreds of people. But then what? I know I'm ranting. I'm sorry. Calm down, Rob. It's the coffee. Some greedy, I don't know. It might have been God intervening, actually, when I think about it. Oh my God, I just had a really interesting epiphany. Could being kicked out, having my job, my school stolen from me, have saved me in the end? Oh my God. God saved me through an asshole. An asshole renter says, I don't do empathy, kicked me out, destroyed my company. Because I want to reuse the space for something else. You fucking asshole. After verbally promising us another 2-year contract. I spent $20,000 on computers after. I cannot talk about that chapter of my life. Every time I talk about that chapter of my life, I get really, really bitter and angry. But the guy that rented to me, I lived in the place where I ran the school, and he decided he wanted the space back, pulled the rug off from under us, and left me with all this debt. And I tried to keep it going in like a random house that we were renting during COVID, and I tried to go online and everything, but ultimately he destroyed my company because he wanted it. And then he put in some stupid ass little office in there for risk management. The guy was another one of these there's like so many jobs where people don't know shit. It's like the dregs of society decide that they want to be rich. So they go into real estate and they go into risk management. And if I've offended you, I'm super sorry. Not. Seriously, I know so many people that are like swimming in money because they have a really great smile and the ability to flip a house at 4%. It's in the $1 million range. And that's their skill. That's their skill. Well, it's not just that, Rob. They have to know how to underwrite, and they have to know how mortgage lending works. And it's, you got to get a license. You can't just like say you want to sell houses. And you got to build your reputation. You got to invest in marketing. You got to have a good word. Yeah, okay, fine. We don't need you. Society doesn't need you. We don't. look at the property and we can say, I want to buy it, and we can work with the. In fact, my first wife and I, we flipped so many houses, and for many times, we did not have an agent involved. And my wife was really good. She could have been a real estate agent, actually. She was super hot. One of these dance team girls, art model. She was super hot, and she was really, really conniving, and she was a good negotiator, and she had a great smile. She could have totally owned it as a real estate agent. In fact, her degree was marketing. She went into she has a marketing degree. I know, it's like, how the hell did I end up with this lady, right? This woman. Well, I was young. There was a hot tub involved. and we had 4 kids. Fast forward 4 kids later. I don't regret marrying her for a second. I don't. She was awesome. She was. It was for the time. Anyway. What I was getting at is it's one of these jobs where, I'll read your comments here in a second. So, just to summarize that thought, I just realized that in the eternal scheme of things, being forced to stop SkillStack might have been the best financial thing that happened to me in the last 25 years. Now, even though I have to pay off this horrible debt and everything on these computers I bought, which I donated everything. I donated like $20,000, $30,000 worth of stuff because it was just too hard to flip. I donated, they didn't use it. I just, I could have it back. I donated it again to another community college, blah, blah, blah. The point is that I spent all that time planning and organizing SkillStack, which pretty much dominated my life. It dominated my life, and the reason it dominated my life was my internal, neurologically divergent tendency to want to save everyone. So I have this trauma-inducing desire, which has been caused by other things that happened to me in my life. Understanding your own traumas is like a big deal. I think everybody knows this. But for me, I have a really, really big trauma where I can't save everybody. Like my nightmares are my kids are falling, not that I'm falling, and then I can't catch them. I can't save them. Always. I have this like massive, massive fear of not being able to save people. When my first wife almost died in the bathroom, and I had to pick her up and literally carry her into the hospital. This is a story for another day, but there's been a lot of times in my life and my mom, when she collapsed on the floor, so many times when people that I love, Vandy Wardle, I remember her name exactly. Vandy Wardle, who got run over by a bus, who had a crush on in 6th grade. Sean Damon, who hung himself. Going on a mission and being rejected over and over and over again. When you think that people are literally going to die and they're going to perish in hell because they didn't accept your message. I have been hard-coded to save the world. This is why I like Mr. Robot so much. Because Elliot, when they say, why did you do it? I got to ask you, Elliot, why did you do it? Well, I wanted to save the world. Because, so when you're doing everything based on that, you end up making a lot of bad decisions. And so one of the bad decisions was like you give crazy money to everybody all the time. Like I am the biggest number when it comes to homeless people. I just had somebody ask if I can make their car down payment yesterday. Can you help me out? I need some help with this car down payment. I'm like, no, I'm totally tapped out. And I'm like, my mom has the same thing. Anyway. So the point is that for that reason, I would have kept doing SkillStack and Beginner Boost. In fact, I still have stress about giving up Beginner Boost. Oh my God, I'm not helping all the people like I wanted to. Like I'm a Beginner Boost, all the people that were being helped. Yeah. You know who wasn't being helped by that? Me. I'm sorry. I wasn't getting anything for it except for the satisfaction of helping someone else achieve financial independence. And we're talking big time independence. I always thought that maybe, I never really dwelt on it, but I always thought that maybe one day, like one of these big ass, successful people who I helped train in the early days would come back and like financially help me out or something. No, that doesn't happen. That's the Stanford study. That's the Stanford study where they give everybody $200 and they all win, and then they interview them and they all say, "Did you think the $200 helped you?" And they say, "No, it helped me in the beginning, but the rest was me." It's because human tendency is to say, "No, I made this success. I earned this success," including for me. You know, I feel like, "Oh, I earned this." Blah blah blah. No, you usually are given an advantage in life you're not aware of, and all of that trauma is the thing that would have kept me doing skill stack, but it took an asshole with no empathy. That's his own statement. He thought empathy was for it was weakness. Empathy, he literally said that. He said, "I don't do empathy because empathy was weakness. You know, there's no empathy in business. It's not personal or whatever." And Terry Colby has a line in Mr. Robot about that. It's really, to Angela, it's like, it's just really good. I really love Mr. Robot. And so, yeah, so then you end up with me, which is, I would have done skill stack. I was making less than $30,000 a year during COVID, trying to keep my students that had been working with me for years and trying to do it digitally and everything, online and everything. And some of those mothers were so sad. The first time they were really sad was when I got rid of the brick and mortar, because the kids couldn't come together on game night and have friends that were nerds, and when they didn't have any friends in school. And they're like, "Oh my God, the sociability was the best part, and now it's gone." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And that hurts so bad. They're all doing really well now. A lot of them are on Instagram, and they check in with me on occasion. So, you know, I did help save the world. I did my contribution, you know. It's time for me to take from the world a little bit. That's what you're supposed to be able to do in retirement. You're supposed to say, "Thank you, elderly." You're supposed to remember that this is one conservative value that I really wish we still had. Respect for the elderly. Instead of making fun of them. "Okay, boomer," or, you know, like, "You sacrificed," and but now, for lots of very valid, good reasons, younger generations hate the older generations. They hate them. They hate them. Just go on YouTube. There's no gratitude for the older generation at all. They're fucking blaming them for everything, and they're not wrong. That's the worst part. They bankrupted retirement. They won't die. They have 2 or 3 homes. They lived in a time when money was much easier and there are lower interest rates, and you know, you could get eye medicine for maybe $5 instead of $35, which was what Walmart had it for last night. And so there's lots of real reasons that they hate them, but it was kind of nice when there was a little bit of respect back then, because then, you know, maybe some things would be different. Like, maybe there would be a little bit more leniency when an older guy wants to take a sabbatical for 2 months to go do Tour Divide, and it's going to leave the rest of the group, you know, hanging because, you know, they needed that extra work. And then I'm just afraid I'm going to get replaced. Okay, so let's figure this out. So my empathy was, you know, my willingness to try to save the world was keeping me shackled to skill stack and to this idea that I was going to help everybody. And that was fine. That was really bad for me. It might have been good for my soul or dealing with the trauma and all that, but really it was just feeding into the trauma. It's like, look, I'm helping, yay me, right? And really what I should have been focusing on is getting okay without doing that. You know, like not having my being okay be dependent on how much I'm giving back to the world. That should not be, you should be okay with being you exactly like you are, not by some measure of how much service you've done, which is a word Doris used to laugh at because she's like, why do you have to have a word for it? It's like, oh yeah, service hours, service this, service that, you know. And so it's, you know, it's kind of like a thing in the Mormons. And so based on all that trauma, it took an asshole to say no more, to come in and say, I don't do empathy, I'm a businessman, fuck you and your kids and all the people you're helping, I got business to do, get the fuck out. And sorry for the swear words there, but they're appropriate. And so then I ended up, that's got to be Adri. Yep. Hi, Adri. And so then I ended up doing everything for everybody else, but by being kicked out and ending that era of skill stack, 9 or 10 years of skill stack, that forced me to get a very, very lucrative corporate job. I got a really great one. I got a really great corporate job, and I just happened into a great salary because they didn't know where to set my salary, which is one of the best things that ever happened to me. So I deliberately kept my salary low. I'm not even kidding. I deliberately kept my salary relatively low because I was like the last of 3 people. Me and 2 other guys were the last of 40 people after a downsizing event, because when they do a downsizing event, they just look at salary. They don't care, and they cut all these other people that have been at IBM for years, and they were all gone, and I was still there, and I was still able to pay for my family and my kids and everything as a single income winner. And I would talk to other people, and sometimes I get close to them, and I'd share my salary at the time, like in 2007 or 9 and whatever, and they would be like, "Dude, you should be making double that." And I'm like, "I know." And when I left Nike, they should have been paying me double, and a guy referred me to a recruiter. Recruiter called, said, "Hey, I can do it," and I gave him a number that was double my current number, and he said, "Absolutely, can you be in Dallas?" And I flew in and got the job, and doubled my salary there, and then I doubled my salary. So the point of it is, because I didn't know what my salary was, they had to figure it out. So the guy that referred me, that was doing the same kind of work as me, who didn't go at all. I mean, he was a really nice guy, actually. He's on the stream. I actually met him on Twitch. I got my current job from a guy I met on Twitch, and I interviewed for the job, and they didn't have a salary to give me. So they gave me a salary that I think that was comparable to his salary, which was, double what I've been making for IBM, and almost double. And then later on they brought me on full time, and I got like a, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 raise just for being brought in full time, because I didn't have to pay the contractor fees anymore. So what am I trying to get at? I'm just trying to say that became the guy was going to take a left, and then he saw that I was streaming, and he decided not to. Dude, I'm like the plague. People do not want to be streamed. I don't blame them. I need to move into a streamer house. Your strategy for survival, right? Yeah. Here we go again. So the bottom line is that I got saved by being kicked out of that job, because I went to corporate America, got a much bigger salary, and now I have a certain number of years that I need to work so that my average income, and when I have a fixed income, will be high enough. So just to repeat what I was saying before, in America, based on my age as a Gen X, it's different if you're older or younger, because they've been changing all the rules. But for my age group, they take 35 years of your highest earning salary, and then they average that, and that becomes your base salary for the rest of your life. And so I've been working in this new job since 2021, I want to say, maybe 2020, probably 2020. So that's like 6 or 7 years? 6 years. Can't do basic math. Dude. So 6 years at my current salary, combined with, is it 30? I think it might be fewer than 30. God, I hope it is. I think I might be getting that number wrong. Let's do that math really quick. Here's why I'm doing the math. If I can figure out what my fixed income is going to be, and I can pay down my debt from the business I started, I can stop working and retire. And that date might be a lot earlier. It might not be 65. It might be 62. That's the earliest date at which you can retire. But here's what I'm saying. If I had enough savings, let's say I have enough retirement savings, right? If I had enough retirement savings to get me through a year or two, like living out of the car basically, then I could potentially retire at 60. That's in 2 years. I could just stop working or work for a coffee shop or something. And I'm like really seriously thinking about that. I'm like really seriously thinking about that. In fact, I'm going to do the math right now. Medicare doesn't kick in until 65, so I'd have to subsidize it. Medicare is 62. Are you sure? I thought Medicare. So the earliest you can retire is 62. That's actually really good to know. Heavy. Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. Yeah. I'm gonna go move someplace else because it's kind of hot in there. It's getting hot in the hot tub. Where's my stuff? We need to figure out when the Medicaid kicks in. That's like the number we need to figure out. I don't need more sun. I got a little sunburn from before. I don't know whose towel this is. I've just been using it every day. That's the real race. Oh, I know. Eat more eggs. If you keep your income low enough. Well, that's what I would do, right? I would keep the income really low. I would get subsidies. I would get all my dental work done. And I'd pay down all my debt. I'm like aggressively pursuing this thing. Because if it means I can ride my bike all day and stream it, how do I make that happen? Let's get real. That's the real question. How do I make it so I can ride my bike all day? Because that's really what I want to do. All I want is to do is the minimum that required to do that. There's a guy that's like 3 years younger than me that wrote all this shitty pro. A lot of that shitty pro. Not he didn't write it. He'd been maintaining it. He retired. He just peaced out. Said I don't want to learn any more tech stuff. I'm done. He left. He just left. He's already gone. He doesn't work anymore. He retired like 55. Fucking hate that. I wish I had. If I had been doing this right, I could have done the same thing. That's why I hate him, because he was smarter than me. Quite honestly, those kind of people are focused on different priorities, and that's good for them. They have been their whole lives. It's like, I don't know. I don't really. It's not regret, but it's like if I had it to do over again, I would be much more selfish. I would. You can call it selfish. You can call it focused on your own interests. You can call it looking out for number one. You can, any of those things. Give it whatever name you want, but I did not do that enough. I didn't. I let my priorities be dictated by other people from almost all of my life. And if you can not do that, I think you will succeed in life. Yeah. And, is it going to change what people say about me when I die? No, people don't give a shit. They're not going to remember me. They're not. There's a few people that are going to remember me like I remember Blaine Polson. Like, the dude totally changed my life. He was an elementary school teacher and a retired cop at 55. He was on, disability leave, I think, and he retired, and he changed the world. He did. One little elementary kid at a time, and lots of them gave him shit the whole time, and he really, really permanently affected my life. And I keep thinking about him. And I keep dreaming that maybe, narcissistically, somebody out there will remember me in that same way one day. And they'll look back and say, dude, you helped, change the course of my life forever. Which is like the single biggest goal I have, I guess. I think that's probably my biggest goal, is I've always wanted to help other people change their lives. But in the process, I've been kind of fucking my own life over. So many swear words today, right? Oh. No, I did not go underwater often. I didn't go underwater like at all. So sorry, Adri. I'll go back and read comments in a second. I'm too busy thinking right now to read comments. No, Adri, I'm not even. No, Adri. I really don't care about immortality now. It's like the older I get, the smarter I get about what it means to be alive and to exist. And I am better able to address the whole existential dread thing, you know? And you know, there's so many people that would just come up on my channel randomly, like right now, and they'd like, who the hell was this guy? And they'd be right. I'm nobody. I'm absolutely nobody. I'm just another dude trying to figure his way out. I don't have any particular credentials or, you know, I know who I am. It's not like I have a lack of self-confidence. It's more about, in the end of the day, I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna go back to being dust, like they say. You know, I'm very much going through a Tolstoy resurrection, or a Dostoevsky Tolstoy resurrection moment. I know I have to this foot care. I got a pedicure the other day. So yeah, gotta take care of my feet if I'm ever gonna have that OnlyFans channel. They already denied me. I don't know why. They denied me. I applied and they denied me. My heel is the biggest problem. I tried to build up calluses so that I could be like able to run with barefoot and stuff, and it turned out to be a really bad idea. I got cracking and stuff that could get infected and stuff. So back to the plan. The plan is to work until I can't, and then get out as fast as possible. And that means I'm going to take some pretty serious liberties with work for these last years. So here's the way I think you can totally hack the system. Okay. Hey Khalid, how you doing? You know, I think one of the ways that you can game the system is by making the same amount of money. I think I need to figure out Islam. Oh, why would that make me better a person? I appreciate your help. There's a time at which I would say, I think you need to find Jesus. What if I told you that, Khalid? I think you need to just accept Jesus as your savior. You think I'll find the answers if I join Islam? Yeah, no. I'm done with religion. Religions fuck the world over in so many ways. They're also good for their world in some ways. Mostly they don't. Mostly they're horrible. I'm sorry if that pisses anybody off. That's my view. I think it's great if you have religion and it works for you and you have a good community. You know, my sisters, my family, they're all faithful people. Not me. I think religions are the source of some of the greatest evil. What do they say? It's like, to be truly evil, you have to believe in God. If you just act out of your normal will, as a human, and all you know is that you're one of many humans on this earth and you have to live together, you would not do the things that people do in the name of God. People's genuine moral compass, which tells them murdering another person for this reason is bad, that acts up on in their body and that says, hey, this is wrong, and this is wrong, we shouldn't be killing each other, blah, blah, blah. People will turn that off and fly planes into Twin Towers in the name of their God. You can't guarantee shit for me, Khalid. It's kind of insulting that you would say that. I am on my own path. And it's great that people recommend that you find, their path. And it's like, hey, this is giving me joy. But when they come at you saying, if you don't accept Jesus or Allah or whatever the fuck, you're going to go to hell and there's no way you can ever be happy. That's fucking insulting. It's fucking insulting at a base level. It's like, how dare you? How dare you dictate to me how I must live in order to be happy? The whole point, and even Allah and Jesus say the same thing. The whole point is to discover and use your free will to figure out where you want to go and what your truth is and how you want to live. That's the whole point. As soon as you start acting like you want to remove somebody's agency by saying, no, you have to do this, guess who says that? Only a Sith operates in absolutes. Only a Sith. So, I appreciate your concern, but just like so many other religious people, they're the same way. You should explore Emacs. I guarantee the Church of Emacs will make you happier. People get so dogmatic about such crazy shit, right? God, my feet feel so much better. I'm so glad I did that. Because when I got my pedicure, they had me put my feet in a little bathtub, and then I got to thinking, I have a little bathtub. That's bubbly and warm. It's like called a hot tub. I should just go use it. Well, I have it. I'm only going to have it another 3 months. Let's do the math. I'm going back to the retirement thing again. Let's do the retirement. What time is it? 8 o'clock? Okay, I got some time to hang out. I don't want to get too sunburned here. I already got sunburned earlier today or yesterday. Did I bring sunscreen? I didn't. Damn it. I should have put the sunscreen in my pouch too. I should probably carry that with me everywhere. Yeah. God, look at all the calluses I have. I hope they come off eventually. Eventually they will. They're starting to come off. I know that's gross. I won't do that while you're watching. I need to start getting my calluses off so my feet don't crack. This one's got a really bad crack in it. Anyway, let's do the math. Hey, Chloe, tell me how many years they use to calculate your fixed income for retirement.
The classic retirement calculation question. Typically, when folks talk about retirement planning, they often think in terms of something like a 25 to 30-year time frame. That's based on average life expectancy after people retire. Of course, it's not one size fits all. Some plan for a longer horizon, especially if they aim to retire early.
No, I'm asking you a very specific question here. What is the number of years they use to calculate your fixed income?
I see what you mean. If you're talking about something like Social Security or a pension calculation, they typically use your average earnings over about 35 years of your working life.
I want to know the exact number for somebody who was born in 1967.
Gotcha. If you were born in 1967, for Social Security benefits, they still use the standard formula, your highest 35 earning years. So even for someone from your birth year, that 35-year rule still applies.
So it is 35 years. That sucks ass. Can I just say how much that sucks? I don't think I have 35 working years where I wasn't at SkillStack. I don't think I have that many years. I mean, okay, I got to do the math here. So I started working for corporate again in 2020, let's say. So that's 6 years. So let's say, we got to know when Medicaid kicks in. Heavy, did you figure that out? When does Medicaid start?
So Medicare generally kicks in when you turn 65. If your birthday's on the first day of a month, it'll start the month before you turn 65. If you've been
Is
on
it
Social
only when you're on 65? Can I do it at 62? Because you can retire early at 62, but Medicaid doesn't start till 65. Is that right?
You got it. You can start Social Security benefits as early as 62, but Medicare holds its ground at
God
60.
damn it, Heavy. Thank you for saying that. I am so glad you. This is why I live stream right here. This is why I live stream. You know why? Because you people are smart. You people are smart. You people have helped me. You helped me get a job. You helped me know how to retire. You just informed me that Medicare doesn't kick in until 65. It's something I probably should have known. It's always these little things that I figure out because you are contributing to my life. And I just want to thank you so much for that. I really do. I mean, down to like which bike I buy or what bike trail I use. This is why I really love live streaming. No way Rob got new teeth. Where have you been? I got new teeth years ago. It feels like years ago. I'm going to tell you this though. You're not going to see my face very much. I'm trying to make a new cultural thing on my stream where it's more about POV. Like the other day, I have a confession to make. If you go through the stuff with your parents to navigate retirement. No, seriously, Heavy. I'm super grateful. Because I was making a bunch of calculations and, frankly, poor plans based on a false assumption. The answer is do not retire until 65. The end. That also explains why my mom and dad retired at 65. My mom and dad retired at 65, and I didn't wait till 67, which is, you can get the maximum benefits, I thought, something like that. Disappointed in how little Social Security is. If you take it earlier in 62, yeah, no. For retirement at 67, I know, for retirement at 67 is a lot higher, but it's not that much higher. And quite honestly, seriously, it's like, at a certain point, it's like, do I really care how much money I have? All I need is enough money to live on and to die on and to keep my family out of debt. I don't need any more money than that. This is one of the things old age really, really, it's a real blessing. It's a blessing. I know that's a churchy term. It's a blessing to know that I don't need any money. I need health. I need medical guidance. I need to be able to pay for a place to live. I need to be able to be relatively confident that the people I love are healthy. That's it. The whole point of retirement, people see this. Okay, you guys like The Expanse? Do you know what I'm going to change gears on you. Do you guys know what The Expanse is? It's a sci-fi. The reason The Expanse Hail Mary if you want, okay? The reason I really love those sci-fis is because when they show a spaceship moving, it's either pointing one of two directions. It's either pointing toward where it wants to go, or it's pointing the opposite of where it wants to go. It's either accelerating or decelerating. And that entire concept applies to life, especially finances. Expanse early seasons were good. I agree. The later seasons got kind of meh. First 2 seasons, up until the point where they figured out what the proto-molecule was. Everything after that was kind of lame. I agree. I have a hard time getting through it. And so that whole, is your spaceship going forward or is it decelerating, right? You don't want to accelerate all the way till your death. At some point you want to flip the ship around and you want to start decelerating. And so in my 20s, I was accelerating. I was staying up till 4 a.m. I was having babies. I was, doing all kinds of crazy things. I was getting skills. I was, doing triathlons. I was, preparing for the long haul. I was like, no, I want to keep my health, body health. I was accelerating. Everything was about acceleration. And then in your 40s and stuff, you can call it a midlife crisis, whatever you want. You tend to flip around. You kind of figure out what you want to do. Sometimes you figure out you're accelerating in the wrong direction, so you have to slightly course correct because you're like, no, I didn't really want to be Mormon my whole life. Look, who knew? Or no, I didn't want to run my own company my whole life. And so you need to like flip around and start decelerating. Adri, nope, I'm not doing any of that. We're talking about retirement right now. So why is this metaphor of accelerating, decelerating relevant? Because when you get to be my age, I am clearly in decelerate mode. It doesn't mean I don't have passion. It doesn't mean I'm not motivated. It doesn't any of that. It just means that I don't need to focus on making more money. What I need to focus on is making sure that my rate of deceleration ends and reaches 0 when I die-ish. So this idea of like, your point's well taken. It's like you're going to be disappointed in how much money you don't get because you didn't wait till 67. Well, how much money do I need? You know what I mean? It's like if I'm capable of living out of my car in Quartzsite for almost nothing, which I very well am planning to be, then how much money do I actually need? And what's the maximum you can make in retirement? That's another number I need to know. What's the maximum amount of income you can make during retirement?
There's no universal cap on how much you can earn during retirement.
Yes, there is. How much is the maximum before you get in trouble with the IRS in the United States?
The IRS doesn't have a specific max.
Yes, they do. Look it up.
There's no overall maximum income limit for retirees set by the IRS. However, if you claim Social Security before your full retirement age, they will temporarily reduce your benefits if you earn above about $24,480 per year.
Okay, so let's say I retire at 65 and I claim Social Security benefits. How much money can I make before they start to mess with my Social Security benefits?
If you retire at 65, so before your full retirement age, which is likely 67 for you, the earnings limit in 2026 is $24,480. If you earn above that, Social Security will temporarily withhold $1 of benefits for every $2 you earn over that limit. Once you hit full retirement age, though, you can earn as much as you want, no deductions.
Full retirement age is 67?
Right, so it's 67.
Whoa. Be really sure of that. Are you telling me that when I am 67 years old, that I could make $300,000 a year and I would still get Social Security?
Yep, that's exactly
Oh
it.
my God. That is crazy. That is crazy. Can somebody confirm that? Can somebody confirm that? If that's true, oh my God. Do you know what that means? That means between 65 and 67, I could burn through my retirement savings. I mean, a good chunk of it, by only making $25,000 a year, 24, let's say, nice safe number. Let's say. By the way, if you make more than that, they take away $1 for every 2 that you make, so you still make money. It seems like I can afford a better bike, right? Well, I'm going to buy a new bike every year. I already know that. My luxury item for the rest of my... People buy fucking yachts and Porsches and shit at my age. Spending $7,000 on a bike is nothing. They buy like brand new Harleys for $20,000. I am a seriously frugal... People go, oh, you spend that much money. I'm like, dude, I'm 58 years old. There was a really amazing older woman with a sun hat who passed us in this really, really great convertible Camaro. And while she was riding past me, I was like thinking about it because she was just, tootling around, just having fun in her car. And I thought to myself, that woman is living her best life. She bought the Camaro she always wanted when she was a teenager. And now she's riding around in her Camaro by herself, waving at the bikers. She had to have been like 60 years old. It was just really fun. It was really fun to see that. Pixel, how's it going? So yeah, you know, some people there's all kinds of different things people get, right? So, dude, this is really good. I'm so glad we had this conversation. I want more coffee. I'm gonna make more coffee. Give me a second. This has been super productive. I cannot tell you how productive this little conversation has been, and I really appreciate it because I've been kind of stressing about what to do in retirement and when I was going to retire. I want to know that there's an end in sight. The really obvious end is 65. 65 is when I retire. But stay tuned because I want to explore some options for hacking corporate employment. Hacking corporate employment through the use of sabbaticals and buyback vacation time while maintaining your income. Yeah, let's talk about that. I think you probably know where I'm going to go with this. I think I have a really great strategy. I can't wait to share it. I drink all the coffee, I swear to God. I am like the coffee meister. It's fine, I'm paying $210 a month for rent here. I deserve it. It's like a fucking hotel. How much is that per day? Someone do that math. How much am I paying per day here? $210, $2,100 rent. I'm sorry, Pixel, if you're here. Every time I talk about this, Pixel gets really sad because he's in Colorado. Pixel, I was going to go to Colorado. I was thinking seriously about altitude training. Did you hear that I'm going to do Tour Divide? So I'm like looking at places to live in the winter that are high elevation. Wink, wink, Colorado. Like Boulder maybe even, but living in Boulder is insane. Like even having roommates in Boulder would be $1,000. It's like Sedona. Sedona is you can't get a single room with 4 roommates for under $1,000. In downtown Sedona, but if you go outside of Sedona to some of the little towns all around that, it doesn't matter where I live, right? If you go to these little tiny small towns like Logan, the income rate is like really, really, really low. Which is, I already like the small town vibe better anyway. So I'm seeking the small towns like Logan that are outside of the main metropolis areas that are within, airport distance within like 60 minutes. And then I'm gonna live there. And then I'll just rent a room because I'm not going to be there that much. I'm going to be out exploring and stuff. So if I get my rent down low enough, then I'll still do the digital nomad thing. It's just, my rent will basically be my storage unit. If I can get my rent down to $400 a month like my son Gordon is paying $400 a month in Moscow right now. He got a really sweet deal with his other roommates. They're splitting a place. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They're splitting a place. He's paying $400 a month. It's insane. I paid that in 93, 94? It was crazy. I'm like, my goal is to get under $800 a month. If I can get under $800, I just need a place to sleep. That's it. I need a place to sleep and good Wi-Fi and a place to put my shit. So, and it needs to be, only other requirement is it needs to be right around 4,000 feet elevation because I don't want to detrain. I want to keep training at elevation, which is what I'm doing right now. There's no way I'm going back to North Carolina. Since I've made the Tour Divide and the adventure cycling commitment, I'm now a mountain dweller. I've become a permanent mountain dweller. I have no desire to live at sea level any longer. And it's funny because one time I was at the beach with my first wife with the kids and I just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, no, I'm kind of a mountain guy. I always have been. And I really am. Mountain is cold though. Boulder is probably double. Really? You're more iffy this week than my. We had two people who signed up for my stream yesterday on Twitch who had feet in the name. And I was like, what is Twitch doing? Is Twitch like selling my stream to them as a foot stream? I actually got a pedicure the other day because my feet are all cracked up and horrible. So I'm putting in even more Dr. O'Keefe's. This stream brought to you by O'Keefe's Healthy Feet. Relieves extremely dry, cracked old man feet. I've almost used the whole thing in like 3 days. It's working though. I gotta tell you, it's really working. Maybe I should start putting it on my old man elbows too. My elbows I look like a fucking elephant. I'm snorting. Side point you look at 15 years younger, clean shaven, looking sharp. Oh, you're like, that's one of the reasons I did the clean shave thing. The other one is it's too hot and itchy. Yeah, I got to get out of the sun though. Look, I got really sunburned. I did 6 hours of writing yesterday. I think I probably got close to how many miles? I want to say it was slow and fun, and we stopped and ate and everything. I want to go hit that big hill again. There's like a couple of big hills I want to try. So my life has become like hill climbs. Because if I'm going to do Tour Divide has 50,000 meters of elevation. It crosses the highest points in the Continental Divide like 5 times. I am never living at sea level again. Not until I do Tour Divide anyway. And then after that, maybe, anyway. To me, you know what? I love North Carolina. I fucking love it. But I love it to visit. I love North Carolina to visit. It's not like I want... You know what else I noticed? Is how hard it is. Like when I was in North Carolina during the summer, and I would do my bike trips, you remember when I had to stop into the bars and get napkins because I had so much sweat I couldn't see through my eyes? Because nothing evaporates. It's crazy. Leadville? I thought about Leadville. Leadville's on the list. How expensive is it in Leadville to live? It's pretty expensive, right? God, this coffee is fantastic. I'm trying to protect my arms from the sun. Yeah. All right, but okay, so here's how I'm going to hack retirement. The way I'm going to hack corporate, and I have to figure out how I'm going to approach this. So, manager, if you're watching, I love you. Hi. Yeah, it's very possible that my coworkers could be watching, and they could know my nefarious plans to achieve my goals, which are not working every day. So, remember the whole thing about accelerating and decelerating? Okay, so I'm in deceleration mode. It doesn't mean I'm a slacker. It means that I'm getting ready to end with $0 and to work the least amount possible. I have no desire to learn anything new. I'm not going to a fucking convention for Kubernetes. I could give a shit about Kubernetes. As long as it pays the bills, fine. You know, at the end of the day, it was like, I don't know, it was like I was a tailor. And I worked on people's clothes my whole life, and I kept their clothes looking nice. I kept everyone else looking sharp, and then all of a sudden I was like near death, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not defined by the fact that I was a tailor, other than some people who have a name like Taylor's son. The point is, I don't care about tech. And the last shred of me caring about tech, the only tech I care about is the tech that gets me what I want. And right now that's my stupid broken app. This is time for me to advertise for Nomad IRL, the app that you will never see. Wait, are you guys glitching? Are you guys glitching? You're glitching, aren't you? Oh my god, you're glitching. Oh my god, you're glitching, aren't you? Oh, okay. It's just me. It's just my app. My app is glitching. Yeah, for some reason. All right, good. That scared me for a second. So, all right. So hear me out. Here's my strategy. My strategy is to work as little as possible. Is that on YouTube either? Thank you, guys. My strategy is to work as little as possible. Like, great strategy, Rob. I still want to put in a medium to high performance every day, every single year, but I do not want to give up the rest of my life. That means, for example, never ever letting vacation years lapse. I have done this why the fuck did I ever do that? Do you know how many years of vacation that I lost? If I were to calculate the amount of money I lost by not taking those vacation days and just not doing shit. People, take your vacation days. Take your vacation days. Are you hearing me? Take your vacation days. Make sure you take them. Count them up, see how many you have. Err on the side of like, oh no, I took too many. I'm giving you permission to take your vacation days that are already your legal right. People get pressured into like, oh, we got this deadline. Oh, we're all gonna die. You're not gonna fucking die. You know what? Okay, so you made a massive deadline. The worst thing that's gonna happen? Are they gonna fire you on the spot? Fuck no. The reason you're so important, that they're talking to you about how important it is that you do all this stuff, is because they can't let you go. Worst case scenario, they give you a bad rating because you didn't have urgency as a priority, which means you didn't want to roll over and sacrifice your entire personal life for the goals of some fucking corporation. People, take your vacation days. All of them. Don't work more than you have to. Don't do it. You will regret it. Maybe you need to do that at first to like, maybe you have to like, you want to get a lot of look, maybe you're in acceleration mode. How little vacation days you get in the US compared to the UK? I know. If you have been with a company like for fucking ever, you get 25 vacation days in America. 25. And then that, I don't know if that counts holidays yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think it doesn't. I think you get holidays in addition to that, which is probably another 14, 15 days. And for my company, you can actually buy back 2 weeks of vacation. So we're going to do with our 25 or 30 days, right? Right? So, you know, people constantly struggle with this. And then you have people like, oh, I have to work through, like, you know, whatever. And okay, one of the things I really like about the up-and-coming generation, so my manager is definitely a millennial, and she's negotiated Fridays off. She's negotiated. She got hired. One of the terms of her employment is I don't work Fridays. She's basically a European working for a very American company. 8 bank holidays there. Yeah. You're looking at your hours. I have 265 hours of PTO. Yes. No. And you've got that beautiful Wyoming landscape. What the fuck? I'm going to come up and force you to take your vacation. Buy a bike. No, buy a bike and let's go right around. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I will drive to Wyoming in October and I will get an Airbnb for a month. We can just go drive around and do shit. I would love that. I would love to have some company doing these rides. I think it would be super fun. 265 hours of PTO. Wow. You know, so I'm not telling you to slack off at work. I'm telling you to work intelligently and to manage the expectation. You're in California? Oh, sweet. What's the VCF? What is that about? I don't know what that is. Tell me. I mean, I know you don't want to have to type out the acronym. Ooh, look, there goes a bike packer. There goes a bike packer. He's got all his shit on his bike too. He's got his panniers and everything. It's not even an e-bike. I wonder if he's I wonder if he's bombing the stream. The vintage computer fanatic. Oh, very cool. See, now that's a passion right there. That's a hobby / passion. Vintage computing. Yeah, I used to have punch cards. You probably would like them. You get to see old computer servers, trade shows. Yes. I used to really get into that shit. I did. There was a time I was obsessed with it. And I get it. I get why people like that. I had a guy that I mentored. He was actually a teenager, and he collected console games. Quietus, how you doing? He collected console games, and he had God. There are so many bike packers out right now. There goes another one. Oh, I know what it is. They're biking to work. It's 8:30. They're off going to work at 9 o'clock. Their work's gonna start at 9. What's up, solid plan? 12, 14 hours a day. Yeah. Dude, okay, so there have been days, even this last month, where I have had to work 14 hours. And it's exhausting. Exhausting. Anybody who ever says like computer jobs don't tire you out, they've never done it. Knowledge work is work. It hurts. It does. It really, really hurts your brain. And it's naive to say it doesn't. I come away from some of these things and I can't even move. I have to take a nap or anything before I can even go ride my bike or whatever. I'm just so physically exhausted. And I haven't even been really typing that much. It's just physically draining. You're tired of work and at work, yeah. Look, I still think we should work in society. I just, we should all contribute. I'm not suggesting we should slack off and do, bad jobs. God knows I've had encounters with shitty output from people who just don't have any shits to give about the work they're doing. How low pay and zero direction. Yes. Ad break is on. I guess what I'm saying is, when I said my corporate hack for retirement is, in your final years, work as little as possible. I mean, that goes without saying. Use your vacation days. Goes without saying. And I'm going to add the big one. Take as much sabbatical as you can afford. Hear me out, okay? There's some complicated math here, sort of, but hear me out. So let's say you can take, in my company, I looked it up, you can take between 2 and 6 months of sabbatical. That means you can take half a year off of work. Half a year off. You know what? My hack's not going to work. You know why? Because that will reduce your total income that year. Fuck. For some reason, I wrongly thought they must look at your paycheck. It's got to be based on IRS income, right? And that blows a hole in my plan. God damn it. My plan was, you just wouldn't come back. Yeah, if you took 6 months off, right? You'd find something else, right? You know what? There's so many people who are so afraid of like taking a break off work, and they end up doing it, and they end up finding a way, way better job that suits their life better. They're terrified at first, and because, oh no, what will I do? I'm not going to eat. And then they end up finding something that's way, way better. That happens all the time. This is why I live stream right here. This is why I live stream. You know why? Because you people are smart. You people are smart. You people have helped me. You helped me get a job. You helped me know how to retire. You just informed me that Medicare doesn't kick in until 65. It's something I probably should have known. It's always these little things that I figure out because you are contributing to my life. And I just want to thank you so much for that. I really do. I mean, down to like which bike I bought. Google Doxy example to theme. It's big. So she's... All right, we're gonna go in there. Eccentric implies you can still be smart. You just a dumbass. Eccentric equals smart dumbass. Kill stack. So pretty. It's the perfect temperature now. Might be a little bit dark, but there's your good ergo. See this? This is what I learned to type on when I was 9 years old. So you can stuff it up your mechanical keyboard ass. I just can't go more than like 20 feet from the Starlink. Or, I don't know, 50 feet, something like that. We're back up to 6,000 now. I went too far away. Well, there's a campsite. There's a also can be done from my phone as opposed to me interacting with a terminal. So those two styles of development, offline agentic development with to-dos and high quality prompts, combined with interactive, redirection and steering as you're doing the project against multiple AIs concurrently, those are two very important styles of agentic AI development that are just different workflows. Hey, look at that. Welcome to North Carolina. Yay! Welcome to North Carolina. Hey ladies, can you tell me what that was about? Do you know what that was all about?
Yeah, their guest house got struck by lightning.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding me, really?
Yeah.
That house got struck by lightning, seriously.
Not their house, it was like their guest
garage,
like little house slash garage.
Whoa. What? Okay, thank you. They got struck by lightning. Oh shit, it's totally burned down in the back. Look at it, it's totally burned out. Can you see it back there? All right. I'm not gonna stick around because I'm gawking at this point. There. Come here, Shopback. Come here. That's right. Come here. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Here you are. Can you see this dirt right here? You go get that dirt? You go get that dirt for me? I mean, I know this is for length. It has 8 items. Did you form the children? I did. All right, replace children. Is it type of? It goes on the outside of it though, right? It's an array. I'm pretty sure it's an array. Oh, it's an object. That's why. Okay, that's why it's not working. That's why it's not working, because it says JavaScript
and C because those languages are everywhere. And even if you don't code a lot of C, learning C will teach you how your computer works. And that's really important because every other language after that will make much more sense. You don't have to get deeply into it. You just have to learn it enough. And JavaScript is everywhere, so JavaScript will get you.
Already there once. I just don't remember it. Hey there. So, all right, let's wrap that up. I'm gonna try to work at 9 or 10 so I can go biking today. If you guys haven't heard, I got a new mountain bike, and to complement my other one, I have a trail bike, for big old, like, I don't know, white rim trail kind of thing. And then I have, this other bike. So, it's just feet. All you get is feet. You don't get me. You have to pay extra. You just get my feet. So, all right, let's do this again. Yeah, I need to actually do the income calculator to see what the difference is, but let's assume I retire at 65. The main reason let's just be real, I'm not retiring until 65 because Medicaid. But I do think that I can take advantage of this situation by doing the sabbatical thing. And that means I'll still be able to make a substantial amount of money for my current employer. I still think it would be easier to make good money for my current employer even if I took a 6-month sabbatical. Because the 6 months of work that I would be there, I would be making, assuming they let me do that, I doubt they would, but assuming they let me do that, then I would be making, I would still make more money, right? As opposed to quitting the job and then trying to get temporary employment that makes the same amount of money. In other words, if I can get my current employer to let me take however much time off, and the amount of reduction in my income does not contribute that significantly to how much total money I'm going to make in a fixed income, then the next solution is to just start taking as much time off as I want. And then dedicate that entire time. So I could still make money during that time. If I did that, I could become a full-time streamer. And I could dedicate my time during those times to, to working towards like the regular Twitch things. I mean, obviously they wouldn't be the primary goal, but if I could actually, for example, hit partner and stream every day for 12 hours and become kind of like a Hitch or a Kuma Monster, and if I could get 500 people a month, I mean, based on what I know, when I had an average of about, I want to say when I was averaging about 30, 40 people every stream, the income from Twitch was around $300-400. And so based on that, that's 30 people. So if we do that math, 30 people, $300. Hey, Mars. So that would be, I'm doing the Twitch math on purpose, right? So let's assume I was actually able to hit partner. Actually, no. Let's just go with affiliate. So with affiliate, if we roughly equate 10 regular watchers to about $100 a month. Look at those white lakes. Yeah, they're pretty damn white. No matter how much time I spend in the sun, they stay white too. They do. They just stay white. Because I don't have any melanin left. I'm old. Look at all those age spots. They're not age spots. Those are all the times I got sunburned. It's like a constellation on my leg right there. Yeah, I noticed that. I get sunburned. I feel the sunburn, but I don't get any melanin. Did you know melanin is actually your body's response to skin damage? When melanin shows up, this doesn't mean healthy. It means you're broken. Yeah, but I still think we need it anyway. Adventure legs. They have to be reflective for security. Fuck you. Yeah. My old man legs. Did you see my toenails? I got my pedicure. They're like all grungy now. I have dirt under my finely pedicured toenails. I paid $70 for a pedicure 2 days ago. Project Euler. Yeah, I have seen Project Euler. It looks pretty good. If you're learning how to learn and stuff. Yeah, I get asked that question about, I don't know, 3 times a year, every year. As projects go, it's not one of the bad ones. There are some of those that are pretty bad though. So let's do this math again. So let's figure Twitch income. The problems to learn to code. Yeah, there's lots of places out there where you can learn problems to learn to code. But I'm quickly becoming out of the loop on all of that because I don't give a shit. It's better for you to go talk to other streamers. Like, I don't know, go follow whoever. I have people at my job, they keep posting videos of the Primeagen in our team chat, our Microsoft team chat. I'm like, yeah, Prime and I have history. And they're like, what? They don't even know I stream. I've told them before, they just forgot. They just don't know. I'm like, whatever. It's just so funny. Prime's made an entire... God, I would not want to be Prime. Prime is 100% hard locked into tech streaming for the rest of his life. He cannot pivot. Fuck off, I'm done with code. Yeah, I am. I use code all the time to make shit I want, which I always, there's only, I don't like the code. I don't. This is why I love AI. I know it's destroying the world, blah, 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 blah. I know. Still love it. I don't like coding. I like what coding gets me. Money and apps I want. The end. I don't code casually because I like it. That idea like turns my stomach. Oh, I could be writing code and becoming pasty vampire white instead of going into those fucking mountains. What the hell is wrong with you? Sorry. That's not me. I don't want to do that. If you want to be a vampire and code in your totally blacked out studio apartment because you enjoy it, great. You'd be you. You do you. I don't want to be that guy. I've never been that guy. If that's you, fine. You do you. There are a lot of people for whom that is really, really fun. They really love it. And there are people that I like. There are people that I like and I care about. So I don't want to minimize their lives, but it's definitely not me. That is so not me. Yesterday I was on the top of a hill. I didn't make a clip or anything. I think I made a clip, but I didn't clip the emotional part. I was literally in paradise. Yesterday I was in paradise. The town is literally called Paradise. And I know why. I absolutely know why it's called Paradise now. I was in a teeny tiny itsy bitsy town called Paradise where this really, really kind woman, I was parked under a tree. She goes, "Are you okay?" And she pulled into the driveway of the place I asked her. She goes, "I just want you to know you can stop here and get water anytime you're riding your bike through here." I was like, what the hell? It was like the single best type of Karen, the anti-Karen, right? She was a total anti-Karen. She, out of nowhere, she just stopped and said, "Hey, I just want you to know you're always welcome here, and we love having you, and you can stop here anytime if you need water or whatever." It was almost like she knew people were biking through there all the time. And I was looking at this like incredible hill. I cannot wait to show you guys again. I was looking at this incredible hill climb, and this hill climb, this went like straight up. And I went halfway up it, and I turned around. I thought the cops were coming after me. Actually, there was a truck that kind of came after me, and then so I paused for a second. You bought a drone? Oh, that sounds so fun. Yeah, do an e-bike. Yeah, fine, e-bike. Get an e-bike. Get an e-bike. Get out of the house, and then work up to riding an actual bike. But yeah, so I was in Paradise, and I was up there. I was like, and I had this moment. I looked out over the valley. I took a clip of that, and then I had this moment where I was just like so totally full of joy, just overwhelmed with the feeling of joy, and it was so clear to me that was what it was. It was like an answer from God, I swear. It was like, this is me. This is me. This is what I do. This is what I love. I especially love that I got to share that with everybody to a degree, and it was just so crystal clear that I was on the right path, like literally and physically. And I, you don't get those moments very much in life. And so when you do have them, you really savor them and like write them down or something. And I had been going through the existential crisis thing for the last week. This whole idea of midlife crisis is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just one opportunity where you actually, are thinking about what things are about. That's really all it is. It's just the first time you do it. A lot of people have midlife crises in their 20s. They don't know what they want to be. They don't want what they want to do and stuff. That's a midlife crisis. I think midlife is more about, oh shit, I made a choice that sucks, and now I need to change course, whether it be a bad marriage or whatever. But you're going to be making those adjustments your whole life. You should be making those adjustments your whole life. First adjustment I had to make in my 20s was I had to start. I couldn't work in Russia. I had a major in Russia and couldn't work in there. My wife said she was never going to go back to Russia. I could have divorced her right there, which I should have done, or I could have, I'd probably be dead, by the way, if I did that. If I had stayed in Russia, I'd probably be dead right now. Hey, pimp. So I had this moment. So yeah, I had one of those moments yesterday where it was just like, and I was literally in paradise. I was I was in the humble, tiny town of Paradise, Utah, which is south of Nibley, which is south of Providence. So, glad I've been dead in Russia. Well, I mean, I left because entrepreneurs are getting blown up. In the 90s, in the late 90s, the mob was still trying to organize itself. It hadn't come under a single banner, and there was kind of like, after Glasnost, Russia was really crazy. People were selling off military gear and all kinds of stuff. There's like a really interesting documentary about the Russian sub that they sold to the cartel in Mexico. It was just really, really dangerous time to be in Russia. And I had ties with the mob and CIA and all that. Not direct official ties, but definite ties. A lot of people might not know that, but I was a cruise director and a courier. And an information broker of sorts. I don't mind talking about it pretty openly now, but I wasn't officially an asset or anything, but I've hinted at it a lot. But I would go to the embassy with my old missionary buddies. Not even kidding. Elder Ermentinger. You want to say what you're thinking? Yeah, I mean, you can say it. Other people have actually said it. I mean, it's kind of implied. I went to the #1 CIA recruiting university in America. BYU has the best language program, foreign language and culture program of any university in America. It's also the #1 CIA recruiting header, which is really funny because I actually saw that headline in a tiny little paper on the island of Antigua. And the mission president and I went to Antigua to open it up and potentially open the church there, the Mormon church. And so we arrived and we were like touring around and stuff. And that day we opened the hotel. We opened the paper, and on the front page was just like, the Mormons are coming to Antigua. No, here's and it had a picture of BYU, and I was like, hey, that's my school. And they're like, they're like, the number one CIA recruiting agency. It was just really, really big anti-Mormon stuff. It almost always paid for by the Christians. The other Christian denominations, they would run massive campaigns against us. Anyway, so if I was an agent, we love you. Mensa theory is working. I don't know about that. I don't think I'm Mensa. But I definitely was. I straight up interviewed with the CIA at BYU, and they told me straight to my face, I'll never forget this kind of gnarly CIA agent recruiter dude. He said, "You just keep." I said, "So what should I do? Should I wait for a call back or something?" He goes, "Just keep living your life. We'll let you know." I was like, "That's the weirdest job interview I've ever had." And to be fair, they never let me know officially anyway. I did do a lot of stuff as not as an intelligence agent, but I did get nearly arrested for using CompuServe. Honestly, I was never an agent, guys. I was never officially an agent, but I definitely had ties with people. I regularly went to church with people who were spies and said so. I regularly went in the embassy with the Mormon missionary companions and say, "Hey, you want to come tour the embassy with me in Moscow?" And I couriered money. I traveled with arms dealers, like Uzbeki arms dealers that were couriering guns in the cabin with me. I have lots and lots of Russian stories. I actually met one of the groups that came on our tour was our cruise. There were about 30 Cold War era spies from America. I will never forget. We were in the lobby in St. Petersburg, and they were sitting there on these couches, and they were just telling all their stories from back in the day. I was looking around, and I was like, "Oh my God, can there please not be a microphone anywhere?" Because these old serious, they were in their 60s and 70s, and they wanted to go back to Russia as tourists, but they had been agents in Russia. And they were sharing. I could not believe their stories. I wish I could write them down. I was sitting there thinking, "Oh my God." It's like, please God, let nobody be listening right now. Because I could just see like a young agent, because I did meet Russian agents a couple times. I mean, they didn't tell me they were agents, but it's obvious. It's more obvious to spot the mafia, though. The Russian mafia, they're way obvious. At least they were in the 90s. That whole thing about tracksuit gang thing, that whole Russian tracksuit gang, that's the real thing. That's legit. If you see a Russian in a tracksuit, mafia. I swear to God. It's like old school mafia, though. I don't think they do that anymore. There was a ton of Russian mafia in Oregon when I lived in Portland. When I lived in Portland, my father-in-law was a police. He was a captain of a jail, and he was the captain of a jail, and he used to bring me in all the time to help translate Russian stuff. And there were there's tons of Russian mafia in Portland. So that was always kind of a weird thing. But it's kind of lame that they just leave the trash there, isn't it? I was gonna pick it up. I'll maybe help. You know what I mean? Like oh, sorry. I was just noticing they're like just leaving the trash out. Like, who does that?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. It's too bad, but anyway. It's time to go to work yet. I think I have to go to work. Man, there's lots of airplanes today. There's lots of airlines that fly over Logan to get to California. You can see him like way high up there. Pretty cool. So I'm going to do that math one more time. So let's say $100 for 10 regular streamers. And if that's true, then that would mean no, it's gotta be less than that. Let's say like $5. Let's say $5 for every 10 streamers, every 10 viewers. So that's like, so Kuma Monster is averaging 400 at least. So 400 times 5. That's 2,000 a month. I'm guessing Kuma Monster probably brings 2,000 a month in income from Twitch streaming. So the reason I'm calculating that number is if I was to take a 6-month sabbatical, if I took a 6-month sabbatical, right? If I took a 6-month sabbatical and was able to get up to that level of viewership because I'm streaming 24/7 or, you know, as much as I can, then that would offset. How much money do I make, you know? That's like well under half of what I make now, obviously, but it would still be enough to carry me through, and it would offset the, you know, it would offset the loss. And then quite honestly, it would actually also count as income because I wonder if they probably have policies against competing. It's not technically competing. I know when you do a sabbatical, they have policies at my company that says you can't work for another company. But I don't think streaming would count. I don't think streaming would count. I think streaming would be okay. Like so let's say what I'm getting at is I don't think I would be taking a full hit financially. You know what I mean? I think I would probably be taking maybe let's say like a 70% hit. So that would be like 30%. This reminds me of when I was running my own company. I had spreadsheets galore. I had my grandpa used to do this too. My grandpa was an accountant for the school system, and he used to constantly like come up with all these schemes and never follow through on them. He was so brilliant. This is one of those times, right? So if we calculate the numbers out, that would be, so let's say I take a full 6 months, which 6 months is unrealistic. Let's not do that. Nobody's going to want to keep me around for 6 months, just 6 months out of the year. They're going to want me to produce work. At most, I'm going to be able to take the summer off, right? I think it would be pretty fair to take the summer off. If I took the months of June and July completely off, then, and I use vacation time for it, I would only have to take 1 month of sabbatical because I could burn all of my vacation days. I mean, if I were to do all my vacation days and take two months of sabbatical, that would be insane. That would be like taking 3 months off a year. I don't know if that's horrible though. So let's do this. Let's say that I take, I don't even know how it works. I don't know if you have to take an actual month off or if you can take per day or whatever, or per week. But if I took, let's say I burn all my vacation in June, and then I take the month of July off entirely as a sabbatical month. That means I'm just not available in the summer. That's basically what I would say. It's like I don't work in the summer. I want my summers, and so I would do that. And June and July, right? So August, people go back to school, they do all that kind of thing, right? So that means that I would need to get situated wherever I'm going to end up living. It would be great if I could take August off as well. You know, I really don't want May off. You know, I would want June off. I'd want June off because Tour Divide is the second week of June. Nobody does anything in America until June. All the big events start on June. June 7th is when Trans Am starts, and the second week of June, which is like June 14th this year, third day of Tour Divide, that starts June 7th. So middle of June. So if we take off June 1st, that means I rent until through May, and then I just drop rent in June, right? So first of all, I would be making the money for vacation, plus I'd be making whatever live streaming money, and that would add up for it. And then I burn a little bit of my bonus money maybe, and the leftover from the beginning thing, and then I have July off as well. So I'm going to approach my manager by saying I not this year, but next year I'm planning on taking June and July completely off. And for the rest of my employment, I want to build the expectation that Rob doesn't work in June and July. And that's kind of where I want to go with this. So, anyway, time to go back to work. But I think that will actually work. I'm going to go make some food. Let's go home and make some eggs really quick, and then if I don't work in June or July, and the other thing too about June and July is I'm not even going to rent. I'm not going to rent all summer long because it makes no sense to rent. It makes no sense for me to rent in the summer because I'm not home. Especially if I'm not working. If I'm not working, I definitely don't have to be home. Hell, I don't have to be at home anyway because I got the Starlink. So, you know what I'm saying? This is how you boost us? What are you talking about boost? Like B00? Blake, did you not get the memory that I'm not doing boost anymore? No, June and July. I mean, I don't even think I can boost you anyway. Because it's like, what am I going to do? I'm going to teach you how to use the terminal? Come on, that's not even that big a thing anymore. Anyway. Bubson, how you doing? Audio and video is out of sync? Probably. Did that help at all? It's one of the reasons I do POV because the GDI cameras always get out of sync. Kind of a known problem. So, no work June and July. I would really like to take August off as well. What if I just said I want to take June, July, and August off? What do you guys think? I'm just going to say I don't work during the summer. It's like I'm getting ready to retire. I want to take the summers off. I'm old. I want to enjoy my life. And I want to take the summers off for the rest of my career. If you're not okay with me taking the summers off, then I need to know because I'm going to get another job. Pull fucking year off. I wish I could. I can't do that. I don't make enough to do that. Wait, did I not bring my shoes? Oh God. I think I forgot my shoes. Wait, is it 9 o'clock? I can go through the main door. I left my Birks. I can't take the year off, Pimp. We already figured that out because if I take the year off and I don't make enough money. Butte, how you doing? I've got like bloated coffee syndrome. Ooh. I think I left my shoes. I did. Yep, there they are. I forgot them. I put them under the table. Don't do that, Rob. Now that I have these like decalced feet, I can't walk around unless I have sandals on, which is healthier for your feet. Makes me feel really wimpy though. Oh no, rocks. I used to have such tough feet. You a bit sleepy? Me too. Less so now. I feel motivated because I got a lot of answers already. I'm just gonna take the summer off. I have my one-on-one with my manager today, and I'm gonna tell my manager, I'm gonna like, look, I want to train. I want to do the Triple Crown. I have life goals that I need to achieve, and I cannot achieve them working in the summer. You know, because I said I'll be here. I'll be able to check in. You know, I'll always be available if you guys get stuck on anything. But I'm getting to retirement age, and I need to start minimizing and enjoying my life while I'm healthy. There's nobody that will understand that better than my current manager. Because she's the one who negotiated Fridays off, and she was just up at a cabin an entire week in June. So the thing is, if I'm able to take, so here's the thing I really like about this, right? If I take summers off, then I can be fully dedicated and committed to work while I'm there. This like, you know, sort of half dedicated to work, working on the road and fitting in bike rides and then hating work and doing it. That's probably not the best thing. The best solution is really, really burned out from, you know, summer, you know, adventure cycling, ultra cycling and all that. And then, you know, kind of wanting to go back to tech is kind of a rest. I mean, I still ride and do maintenance rides and stuff like that, but then that way, you know, so like I could move into a place. Winter here pretty harsh. Oh hell yeah. Logan winters are pretty intense. They're not Colorado winters, but this year we didn't get any snow. It's insane. Usually there's a foot or two, like a pack on the floor, on the ground at all times. Logan gets a lot of snow. Usually, that's one of the reasons people love it. It didn't get any this year. No, they had really bad problems at the ski resorts. In fact, Lake Powell, they're having to close marinas because they're so low. The houseboats are mooring and hitting the bottom of the ground and everything. It's really bad. It's really, really bad right now. So you got slammed? Oh, for winter? I know you did. I know you got slammed. You really did. Oh, sorry. Ma'am Danny. I don't know who that is. Who is Ma'am Danny? You guys can look outside for a second. I have to go use the restroom. Sound is still on, right? You're hearing me in the toilet. How about this sound? Here's a great sound for you. I'm very real here. You know how many times I've done that? I've taken my mic to the toilet. Toilet ASMR. Dude, I nothing but the best content for y'all. Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Oh. I know somebody's gonna clip it. It's just a matter of time before I bring the camera in eventually. I have done that before. I've streamed myself naked before. And that was when I stopped streaming to Twitter, because Twitter doesn't let you take your videos down. Sorry guys, that was gross. Somebody's gonna tune in just for that content. It's like, did you see Rob's? Oh, I'm so bad. Oh God, really? I'm deleting that clip. I really don't want to play that clip. Shit, should we leave that clip in? That's really bad. How bad was it? I really don't even want to watch it. I really don't. Is it really, really that bad? I don't even want to watch it. I'm watching it. I don't want to watch it. Was it like grunting and stuff? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God. Sound is still on, right? You hear me in the toilet? How about this sound? Here's a great sound for you. Oh, you caught it right after that. Okay. Damn. You didn't get the worst part. You didn't get the actual plopping sounds. Sinus breathing. How come I have such bad breathing? You know why? It's because the mic is right here. A few grunts. Guys, I wish I did not have sinus breathing. I really do. I should probably turn down the I should turn down the sensitivity of my mic or something so you're not hearing all of my normal, stuff. I don't. You guys know I broke my nose, right? Have you ever seen my nose? Have you seen my nose? The septum in my nose is like completely in one side, one of my nostrils. It's totally busted. And I actually got $12,000 to get a nose job, and I gave it all to my family to help them out. Instead, it's a true story. Or I spent it on strippers. Either one, you can take your pick. But the money is not there. That's my point. So you'll forever hear me gasping for air out of my nose. Do you think if I taped my mouth, it would make me not talk so much? I mean, it would not gasp, not whatever. Not what am I trying to say? Do you think it would make it go away? It's not because I'm mouth breathing, right? It is because I'm mouth breathing. Because I am mouth breathing. Because my nose is closed because of all my fucking allergies. That's exactly what it is. You know what the other reason for it is? My chest is really constricted by this pack. I've noticed that. I just noticed that. This thing, when I wear it, it constricts my chest. And so I actually have to go, I have to force the breathing. It's probably a good endurance training mechanism. I actually breathe heavier when I have this rig on because it constricts my chest. See, look. It constricts my chest, so it makes me, I don't know, I just feel like I have to like really punch the breathing, otherwise it's not going to happen, the breathing's not going to happen. Yeah. I just did it again. I wonder if I just force myself to breathe through my nose, if that would help, if I could get my nose to like clear out or something. See, I just did it again. I went, see that? I did it again. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. I'm starting to put this together. I didn't used to do that with Moblin. With Moblin, I didn't do that. But I also didn't have this thing around my chest. You know? No, because I just did it in the toilet, but that was grunting. That's because I was pooping. I know I said poop on stream. Anyway, I'm all paranoid. It's definitely because of the thing, though. I feel myself doing it. Real life, Rob. Yeah, I'm pretty damn real. That's for sure. No one can ever accuse me of being... See, I just did it again. I just did it again. Heinz garlic. Heinz garlic? What is Heinz garlic? I have garlic salt. Like garlic ketchup? You're hungry now? Mission accomplished. You've been influenced. That needs to be my t-shirt. You've been influenced. Bitch. The anti-influence. The anti-influencer t-shirt. You've been influenced, bitch. Oh, I want to make that so bad. I don't mean any disrespect. That people say bitch out of, people, they say it to their friends. You've been influenced, bitch. You say it higher. If you say it with a higher inflection, apparently it's okay to say. I don't know the rules. Someone teach me the rules. Oh boy. I know I'm always apologizing. Sorry. There's a guy named Ned in School of Rock that made Jack Black famous and made him into a household name. If you have not seen School of Rock, stop right now and write it in your to-do list. I will watch School of Rock this weekend. It's one of the best shows ever made. It stands the test of time. It's absolutely insane, and it's so freaking awesome. It's about such a good topic. Jack Black at his best. But his roommate is like, sorry. Stop saying sorry, Ned, sorry. I'm pretty much him. Revenge of the big ass mugs. Oh my god, I'm so cursed. I'm so cursed. I cannot win. Even the dishes want to kill me. Oh my god. That came out of nowhere. Skills issue. I don't want to hear it. Wait, where's my spatula? I just had it. Oh. Yay. Abracadabra. Wingardium Leviosa. Save yourself from the attacking. Yeah. And set up my normal breakfast. Jeebus loves this content today. No, Jeebus is punishing me for saying religion is bad. Yeah. I'm going to have 2 pieces of bread. You can't stop me. So there. Will it take me longer to get all nice and skinny? You know what? It's not even a goal anymore. My goal is to have fun and be healthy. The end. The end. I am gonna have ginger ale for breakfast. The real kombucha. This stream brought to you by Synergy. That's what I gotta do. I gotta like aggressively pursue. Like, actually, I don't have the numbers for that. Nobody's gonna want to sponsor me with 17 regular viewers. They're just not. I was gonna do. We were joking around with an Ensure sponsorship. Ensure is actually pretty good energy food on the road. It's like better than chocolate milk. And chocolate milk is famous in the bikepacking community. Famous. People, there's tons of jokes about chocolate milk. Especially Tour Divide. Lachlan Morton's pretty much defined by chocolate milk. I'm going to try garlic salt this time because you guys are giving me ideas. I don't know how good it'll be, but we're going to try. God, it's too chunky. Too chunky. You made your own kombucha? Yeah? Nice. Nice. Yeah, my ex Doris she made it quite a few times. And then she got into art and everything stopped. That was one of the many things. Yeah, we had a mother. We had a kombucha mother for like 2 years that just sat waiting to be used. But it was alive. It stayed alive all that time. It's pretty amazing. The whole thing. There's Epi. Should we call her Epi? Epi? Epi as in EpiPen? Like you need an EpiPen because you have allergies and you're 300 miles away from help. Oh, you know what? I wonder if that's my Garmin InReach. It might actually be. I just got a Garmin InReach. I'm gonna make some code so that the Garmin InReach satellite is where you see when out of what, you know. Synergy is good. Yeah, slightly better than beer or hard lemonade for you. Well, that's like a lot of garlic salt. Ah, fuck! What is wrong with me today? Oh my God, Roberts. I just not doing well. You should probably stay indoors and not do anything. Is Mercury in retrograde or some shit? There's no excuse. I'm just a fool. We need the unboxing. We'll unbox. I'm gonna eat my eggs and we'll do an unboxing real quick. 5-second roll. No, that's not true. Never was. Completely unscientific. But yeah. It was like half an egg. No. No. I was thinking I ride my bike today. See how fast I can get work done. I'm gonna put my headphones in. Like if I put earplugs on or headphones, I can do like 8 hours of work in 5 hours. And since I'm paid on output, not how fast I'm typing. Doesn't matter. You know. Okay, I have to figure out how to tell my manager that I want to take summers off from now on. It's not going to be a question. I'm going to say I am taking summers off, You have the choice to help me. I don't want to make it an ultimatum, but it kind of is. It's like, I can either get summers off or I'm going to quit. Because I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. And they'll start planning to have my replacement right away. But they just lost somebody else. They got, yeah. So they're hungry for people. If my manager's watching this for some reason, that's exactly how I would say it. I'd say, listen, I'm getting old here, and you guys are all young, and I want my summers to go visit my kids or whatever. And the best part is that when I am here, I'm not going to be partially distracted by a week vacation every 2 weeks. During the fall and winter, and spring, I'll be totally dedicated. You're a manager. You can't. If my manager says, I'm sorry, that's not a possibility, then I will immediately start looking for another job. Or no job. I got no problem telling him that. So, the thing I always hate is that the people that, how do I put this politically correctly? It's always the people who are not working with that level of urgency and who are very, very quietly taking off extra time and not telling everybody, who are the ones who are telling everybody else they need to work harder. It's a trend. I have seen this through my entire career. And I could have put those eggs on the bread and made an egg sandwich. What? Why didn't I do that? I'm gonna do that next time. Probation period, to lose the vacation or delay them. Lose the vacation or delay them because I'm on a new job. That's true. I kind of have fuck you skills, so yeah. I kind of have skills where they will work with me. Dude, if my manager can get Fridays off negotiating this job that she has, I guarantee you I could find a place that would hire me and say, I could lay it on the table. It's like, I only work 100% remote. This is the minimum salary you have to pay me. And, I take summers off. The end. It's like, take it or leave it. Because I can. I have that level of skill. I can go in and say that, and I can prove it. I can back it up. I can give them specific numbers. I can show them how I saved the company $10 million one year. And that's a factual statement. That was actually presented. Our team was credited with gave us this savings, and I did the math based on the team divided by the people who developed it. So I don't think I have a problem with that. If I came to it, I would do it. So I'm pretty sure my manager is going to punt and say, well, you need to talk to HR. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I already know what's going to happen because I already checked it out with HR. HR says you have to have approval from your manager. The end. That's it. And then they have an entire process for how to submit it. HR does not have an opinion about whether you do it or not. They've already said you can. Then they punt. The HR punts back to the team and says they ask your project manager, as long as your project manager says it's okay. And the company I work for has a long, long history of supporting people. Fun fact, my company invented the weekend. You can figure out where I work if you look that up, but please don't tell. Eggs and baguette. I can't eat baguettes, they're too crunchy. And mixing eggs and like making a whole sandwich out of it, yeah, it would be really good. For sure. No. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Listen to me eat. Listen to me use the restroom. Listen to me burp. I have all the best content. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm gonna unbox this and then I'm gonna be gone because I need to go work. When I come back, I will be biking and we're gonna go do some more of that. Please don't be a vibrator. Please don't be a vibrator. Oh, okay, it's this. What is it? What is it? What did I buy? It's a $65. This has got to be not be mine. Oh, is it? This isn't even mine. Like, I don't even want this. Oh, they got the wrong apartment. I gotta take it to the office. I unboxed somebody else's thing. I would not be buying more clothes, let alone New Balance. It's not, look right there. It says Alex. Whoever delivered it, they delivered it to the right place, but it's got the wrong address. Therefore, I shall return it. That should be my last act for the day. I very much doubt the stream is going to survive me going outside. Every time you've seen better unboxings, I do everything high quality here. You need to see my callous feet, my callous OnlyFans feet. You get to knock my teeth out. I'm almost like a meme of a bad streamer. I do all the things that all the other streamers do, just poorly. Yep, there you go, you died. Rob, aka Alex. Yeah. Oh my god, it recovered, sort of. Did it recover or not? I don't think it did. Is it recovering? Did it recover? I feel like it's not recovering. You're Gucci? How the fuck? So my app must be broken because it's not showing me that it recovered. It's still showing 900 kilobits per second. We are here, we are here, we are here. You're not anymore. My thing is so screwed up. My app is showing me totally wrong numbers. So that's good to know. The streaming's working, the app is busted. I gotta redo the whole app. Some pink panties. It could have definitely been. I mean, it's not mine. It's not mine. It could have been somebody else's pink panties. That totally could have been. But unfortunately, it wasn't. So. I'm just gonna put this right here. It's not mine. It's address to my apartment, but it's the wrong person. Thank you. It's not mine, I swear. It's gym clothes. Somebody's got the, I don't know, Alex has got, we'll probably meet Alex one day. He's probably my neighbor. Alex has got the inspiration to do some outdoorsy things. Resident formerly known as Pink Panties Man. Oh. All right, you know what? I'm gonna sit my ass down over here. I'm gonna raid somebody. You know what? Let's do that. Let's go for a walk and then I'll raid and then I'll go work. I normally hit work around 9:30 or 10 my time. And I work really hard. Take a nap, go do a thing, come back home, take work at night. So I already have a relationship with work and my manager, both this manager and my previous managers. All my managers for probably the last 10 years. I've always made a deal with them that says, look, I enjoy the daylight. And most of the stuff I do is coding related or systems related, and I do my best work when I can focus when it's dark. So I've been doing it either in the early morning, like today I was up at 5 a.m. I was up at 5 a.m. today doing stuff, even before I started streaming at like 6:30. What? This Macarena. I got plane bought off. I should probably turn it back on. So many planes. Anyway, so I just had breakfast and I like walking after eating. It kind of reduces your, you guys know about this, right? It reduces your what's it? Your insulin sensitivity. It increases it. Makes you a better person. I'm gonna go ahead and walk. And we're gonna go to the park and I'm gonna raid when we're at the park. So what else was I gonna say? It's really beautiful, right, Guava? It is beautiful. That's why I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drum all day. Oh, look at that. They're taking the towers down. Or are they putting new ones up? I can't tell. They're either putting new ones up or they're taking it down. I think they might just be moving it, actually. You're adding all these years for you to ask us for the summer break. Yeah, they might. Never know. Walking helps stave off the crashing. Yes. Yes. That's the theory anyway. I read it on the internet somewhere. I'm hiding my arms literally so they don't sunburn. So in a third world shithole. Oh, well, thank you for joining my stream. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a third world shithole too, but not right now. I mean, look at all the construction, right? In America, a lot of people would consider this a shithole. Like, oh, you're living in a construction zone. Oh, you know, instead of up there in the footholds with all those $1 million homes up there. I have kind of a weird background because I was raised in poverty, oldest of 8, Mormon family sort of thing. And then I fought to get out of that. So I ended up, you know, achieving upper middle class. And, you know, which wasn't good enough for my first wife. She wanted me to make even more money. That's a typical Mormon thing. And then my second wife was very content with very little. And so I was kind of ritzy. I was kind of, you know, richy rich. You know, kind of like I don't know what. And if you know anything about this, Mormons are always, you know, provider guys. You got to be, you know, your value is how much money you make, how well you provide, blah, blah, blah. They won't say that. In Sunday school, they'll say it's how good of a father you are, blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. The cultural stigma is that you need to make lots of money. So I kind of span the gamut. You know, we went to this Trash Car USA thing for free, and there was everybody in the stands was definitely, mid to lower class, and they were great. They didn't have teeth, and they were just smiling and happy. And in fact, one of the reasons I'm really, really, really looking forward to doing Tour Divide and some of these cross country sort of things is I'm really looking forward to rediscovering the people of America in terms that are not defined by the news or political parties. It's something I'm really looking forward to. And part of me is like, oh, I want to go to Europe and Barcelona. And I do want to do that. I really do. Last time I did a stream in the United States, I talked about this. I talked about how much I love America. I love this fucking country. I'm going to cry. I love it. I hate what's happening to it. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful country with great people that's pockmarked by shitheads and people who have been indoctrinated into cult think and all kinds of stuff. But on the whole, the people who are here are salted. That woman who helped me yesterday, she said, you can stay in our shade anytime. That's America. And, so anyway, I really, really, really hope that taking this summer off and being able to show the rest of the world my country, God, I'm going to get... This is my country. This is my country. And I don't have to have a fucking American flag, bannering, or have some big fucking eagle on my bike or tattooed on my arm to love my country. I don't. So, whatever. And it just makes me sad. Because we're so fucked up right now. We've always been kind of fucked up. Since we started kicking the American Indians off, the Native Americans off the planet to take over their stuff and say it was God's intention for us to, kill them, and which they did in America and Utah. The Mormons annihilated tens of thousands of Indians in this Cache Valley. The other day I ran into somebody who looked like they had American Indian descent, and they said they grew up in this area, and I was like, oh. And I immediately wanted to ask all kinds of questions like, America's never been perfect, but neither has any other country. Countries, just by definition, are all founded on, bullshit borders and politics and shit like that. Tribalism. Countries are just large tribes that are less volatile and dangerous. Oh, wow. They got that. Look at that. What are they doing with that? Are they moving it or taking it? They're getting rid of it. Yeah, they're taking it down. They're actually laying it down. They're taking the towers down. Yeah. Just keep pushing and moving, right? It's like... I really, really, really want to make a career out of showing people America. The real America. And honestly, showing Americans the rest of the world, the real rest of the world. I watched this documentary where they were flying around the world in a Cessna, and they stopped and they interviewed this woman from, she was wearing full Islamic garb and everything, and she was talking about people don't, That people don't even know who we really are. All they see is they see the news and they see a bunch of people dying in Turkey or Syria or whatever. And she was Syrian, I think. And it's true. My entire life at the core, from the time I started Ranger Russian, and went to the Caribbean on my mission and learned French and went to Europe and it was travel and tourism. It's always been about connecting people. Always. The one thing that I have at my core of my being have always been is a connector of people, bringing people together. When I worked for America Russ Cruise Company, the focus of our cruise company was bringing 40 to 100 Americans on the boat and 40 to 100 Russians on the boat and letting them meet each other and promoting dialogue, sticking them in a room together. And they would go home and they would be hugging and they would be permanent pen paling these people, and they would be asking them really silly questions like, is it really like Santa Barbara? I'm like, what's Santa Barbara? And they're like, oh, it's this ancient, soap opera that they watch in Russia. It's like, did you really think this? Oh, no. And they're like asking questions point blank of each other. These people had been told everything during the Cold War. They're like, this is how it is, right? And there they were talking to each other. They were talking to each other. They were getting to know one another. That is what I'm about. And a lot of people, I joke all the time about my Europeans, but the reason I do is because deep down inside, I want people in the rest of the world to see the America that I know. There's also, this is America, when I scream in the top of my lungs because I get run over by a 4x4 that coal rolls me and tries to kill me just because I'm on a bicycle. That is also America, unfortunately. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So, I'm gonna do it. I don't care how. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm more emboldened now than ever to begin doing this as soon as possible. And quite honestly, we don't have enough live streamers in the West. We don't. We've got... just look on the IRL map. If you just go look on the IRL map, you'll see all the people. There's very few of us. There are a bunch of truckers. And there are tons of streamers in New York, which are awesome. We love New York too. But there's not enough live streaming in the West. There's not. There's just not. It's hard to live stream in the West. Everything's spread out. Rob V2. Yeah, I'm more like V4. Hey, buddy. New York and Austin, yeah. I love New York and Austin's got a lot of streamers too, yeah. There are streamers all over. I mean, it's kind of like Japan is inundated with streamers. How many streamers are in Japan? I swear. There's going to be like, there's not that many streamers here for sure, though. Oh, I love it when the families are out with their kids. Playing soccer and screwing around. What the hell are they doing? They're kicking something. Oh, they're just playing soccer or something. Looks like a stay-at-home dad is with his kids. And they're out kicking the soccer ball around. Kids are out of school. I remember when I had toddler kids and I was a remote worker, I would go out and jump on the trampoline with my kids during the day and do summer stuff with them. As again, I've always negotiated the daylight hours as much as possible to do daylight things. And then I do. I work really early and I work sometimes late. And of course I work during the day when there's meetings and stuff. I make sure that I'm around for that stuff. Western countries. The West, yeah. Yeah, I meant that there's not a lot of... That's what I meant, anyway. The nursing house. Oh yeah, all the time. Every Sunday I used to go. With my family, we'd take my kids and we would go visit the nursing home for no reason. And we'd just visit people. I heard so many stories. In fact, I got really serious. I looked at registering a domain because I just wanted to sit and videotape and listen to the stories of the people in the nursing home. And I got looking into it, and the people at the nursing center, they're like, no, these families don't want these people to talk. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. She says, you'd be surprised. There are families here who do not want their parents telling their story live. And they will make sure that you don't do that. I said, but what if I get a release or it's anonymous and stuff? I know, you don't understand. There are people who have their parents here who do not want them to talk about their experiences. I was like, that is so sad. I was like, but I'm just trying to journalism, you know? Just trying to be culturally, you know. And I couldn't do it. I shut it down. I was really, really serious. After my first divorce, that is one of the things I really wanted to do. I remember getting the idea while we were doing these Sunday activities where I would drive my kids to these nursing homes and we would just randomly talk to them and say, hey, hi. Sometimes we'd break them cookies or whatever. And the people in the nursing home, they just want to visit somebody. They don't get visited by anybody. They just sit there. The only people they know is the orderlies and the other people that are there. And they're so hungry for attention, you know. There's another Cessna. Oh, that's a jet. It's a private jet. Yep. Probably some rich farmer. Hey, penguin. So yeah, people don't, you know, in America, they don't, at least, I don't know. That was one experience in one nursing home. Maybe there's more. My uncle actually bought a nursing home. He ran it for years. It's a good business. But, you know, it's a risky business, apparently. I'll tell you right now, I'm never going to a nursing home. I'll tell you right now, I am never going to a nursing home. They have that rock climbing meme, like, this is why you should learn rock climbing, and the 70-year-old, 80-year-old woman's climbing over the wall. That would be me. I will die before you put me in a nursing home. I will drive my car off a cliff, like Thelma and Louise, before I go into a nursing home. I sat on a bench during a last walk, and some 86-year-old guy just sat beside me and told me about his life story. Isn't that great? Dude, that's so great. And a motorcycle crash. The grandmother, she was 105, she passed away. Amazing person, sharp. Yeah, I just... the Mr. person from Happy Gilmore. I don't remember that, actually. I need to go back and watch Happy Gilmore. I actually really like Happy Gilmore. The Waterboy is my favorite Adam Sandler movie of all time. Devil woman, devil. I like her and she like me. And she has nice boobies and she lets me see them. It's such juvenile humor. But I don't care, it's still funny. As well, she could walk really easy. That's a blessing, to use Christian terms. To be able to walk around, hell yeah. God, look at how beautiful the marshland is. There's a certain beauty. You know, it's taken me a while to really reappreciate the beauty of marshlands and arid deserts. But it's what I grew up with, you know. And then I spent 24 years in the lush green east of North Carolina, and I absolutely love that as well. I really, really do. And, you know, I came to Logan in the fall. I remember falling in love with Logan in 2020 when I came here for other reasons, and, you know, biked around it here, and it was really green and summery and everything. I was like, man, this place is awesome. And when I got here in October, I had to go through the winter and a bad fall and a bad winter with no snow, and it was just dead and gross looking. And now everything's waking up. It's all springtime, right? Everything will be dead in a month. All this green will all be dead in a month. It'll all be dried out and you know, at least it usually does. I'm kind of curious to see how long the green lasts. It'll be funny to see. Hey, penguin. So yeah, so my goal is to, oh God, those are ants. Holy cow. Did somebody spill sugar or something? That is a big ass ant colony. Are you seeing that? There must be sugar there. Look at them all. They're just obsessed with that one section right there. It's got to be sugar. Somebody spilled a sugary drink or something. And then the other ant came through and said, you know what? There's sugar over here. And they're like, ooh. Mating with Morse code. Mate June to July. So when are they out here? I haven't seen any fireflies yet. They're supposed to show up pretty soon though. Clean up on that, that's right, yeah. Yeah, Roland. So desert plants, grasslands. Yeah, it's really easy to see this as not pretty because it's not like your quintessential, you know, forest. But it's just as diverse and beautiful. Dad's like coaching his kids. He must have the day off. Yeah, it's good times. You're letting nature rehabilitate it? Oh, that's so smart. Penguin, that's really, really smart. Yeah. I mean, people would tell me I had the best lawn. I sound like Trump saying that, but it's true. And I mean, seriously, I'd be doing my lawn on the corner and people would stop saying, you have done an amazing thing with this lawn. You have the best lawn ever. I'm like, oh, thank you. I spent like $3,000 a year on fertilizer and water bills and everything to make that lawn so nice. Then I moved to Arizona, where people were raking their rocks, and I laughed in their face. I didn't really, but like, what the hell is this? Natural landscaping. It's like, if you try to grow a lawn here, you have to grow two different lawns. You have to grow a summer lawn, and then you have to grow a winter lawn, because you can't have the same lawn won't live. And yeah, forget Kentucky bluegrass. That stuff will die in 20 minutes here. So And then there were all these other people who just didn't do anything. Is that a chrysalis? I think it is. I think that's a chrysalis. Let me check. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was a baby butterfly. You can sometimes find those on this stuff. So yeah, natural landscaping is definitely the way to go. And my dad was obsessed with landscaping. That was his hobby. He liked landscaping as a hobby. He was a draftsman, and he would draft landscaping. He had the best lawn. He was the one where he would like put, concrete forms and create, boundaries and cement, borders between his gardens. I mean, he obsessed, still is, with landscaping. Always like multiple layers of topsoil. He's the guy who pretty much taught me how to take care of the yards. And I did. I loved it. But my favorite yard ever was the one where we just let it grow natural plants. And we put natural stuff in the front, which was only... Do you have any hours I spent digging rocks out of like other lawns where they put rocks on the wrong side, and they thought, these idiots in this new house of mine, they thought they got it wrong. They got, the driveway was on the wrong side of the house, so they laid all of these big chunky stone to anticipate putting a driveway there, and then they went whoopsie, and then they went to the other side, and they never removed the rocks, and I could never grow lawn there. And so I spent, it was so bad, eventually I ripped the entire lawn out. I spent hundreds, probably thousands of dollars to rip the whole thing out. I churned the whole thing under. I dug down like 9 inches. I got rid of all the rocks. And I should have made them pay for it. Because I was out there every Saturday. I was like, why is my lawn dying? And I was like, trying to get a rock out. I sit there, I put music on, pull another rock out. Hey, there goes my Saturday. The rest of my life was dedicated to the Mormon Church, which meant all of Sunday. If I want to spend any time with my kids, that was it. My entire existence. If I was lucky, I could get a run in at like 6 a.m. every once in a while. I hate yard work. That's what I'm getting at. Yard work is a fucking waste of time for me. I want to do so many other things. I know how to do it. I can do it. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I think people have gardening. I think gardening can be really fun and peaceful for the right kind of people. For me, it was always a chore. It was always something I had to do. And, a natural yard is just the natural way to go. Least amount of maintenance. Best balance for all the flora and fauna. You're not chasing some stupid, medieval dream to show wealth by putting, making sure this little patch of artificial, invasive species is like green all the time. It's so stupid. It's pretty. Having a lawn is super pretty, but it's just so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Forish, how you doing? Thank you for the follow. You'll be willing to sell your kidney to be there in Scotland? Yeah. The compact gardening in the city. Yeah. His mounds of logs, compost. Yes. So one of my favorite houses had the smallest, this was in Vancouver, Washington. It had the tiniest little postage stamp of a front lawn, and we had really great bushes and stuff. And the backyard had a tiny lawn, and then there was a park right across the street, and the park was maintained for free. All the people did all the landscaping, and we had this common space. I was like, this makes sense to me. Let's minimize the size of our yards, keep our houses far enough apart from each other so we can't hear each other screaming at our kids, and smell each other's barbecues, and then go have this common space that we pay in to have it maintained, so we don't even have to do the maintenance. We get our life back. They're like, well, I want to mow the lawn. I enjoy it. Okay, fine. Then you can volunteer to maintain the central space. You know, like my whole village. Davidson has a lot of this. Davidson, North Carolina. Davidson has a really, really active community garden. And everybody just lets stuff grow. However, in that area, there's a lot of hippies there. Quite honestly, there's a lot of rich boomers. That's kind of one of the ways that I don't want to go back. It's not my vibe. A bunch of rich boomers who think they're saving the world by putting chalk on their streets saying, you know, Black Lives Matter. Meanwhile, they bulldoze black communities down to the ground so they could build their $4 million homes. And then put Black Lives Matter on the street. I mean, they're good people. They don't realize what they're doing. It's just not my thing. They completely, totally gentrified the shit out of all of Davidson and chased out the entire low-income community. But they'll put, you know, all lives matter and all this shit all over their lawns, and they'll bring their little picketed signs up and they'll say, "Yay, this, anti this." Ooh, okay, that's interesting. You seeing that? Where did that come from? Yeah. Yeah, it's just white guilt is all it is. They're just assuaging white guilt. If they actually gave a shit, they would do something besides put a sign in their lawn. At least don't pretend that you care. You know what I mean? It's like, just admit that you're not really going to do anything. You might go picket. You're not even going to read who's on the ballot. I'm sorry, I'm being really, really mean right now. And I'm guilty of that. You know how many times I've had to say, someone tell me who I should vote for? Because I didn't read the ballot and I'm super busy because butterfly. Butterfly in the sky, I can fly twice as high. It's in a book, reading rainbow. Do anything. All right, friends, I gotta go. Snake game is pretty cool, huh? I don't know why I got on that like negative thing, but I can't even remember what caused it. Serves really well. The snake roll serves really well. Oh, I just want to ride my bike and walk outside. It's so awesome out here. This just gives me so much energy. Hey, let's go sit on the bench where we met our friends the other day. They gave me a smoke. We gotta go meet them. They was it Ruby's, I think? Pizza place. All right, I'm just gonna stay here with y'all and raid and say goodbye to you. So thank you for coming. Hopefully we'll be back. I'll be back pretty soon, but I can't tell you when. So where's my app works better? Well, I've got to sneeze. I got hay fever. That could actually be deadly on the trail. I've got to figure out how to manage that. Oh, Sarah's on. She was... Oh, she's painting. Chatting and crafting. She must be independently wealthy. She was just on that bike trip. Zed. Zed's fun. Let's raid him. I don't think he likes me, but I don't care. Nobody's... Wait, what? Do, 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 do. Oh, Arimark is here. That's the mobbing guy. Apple Swift iOS IRL streaming moblin. I like that he's doing moblin. I think it's a great way for people to get into streaming. I just don't use it anymore. This part always takes forever. Unfortunately. I wish it didn't. It kind of does though. Alright, let's go find somebody to raid. Theme. What is this? Oh, Walt Disney World. Oh shit. We'll follow him. What's his name? Theme Park Giant. Is he in an actual theme park? How do I rate him? Stream manager. God, I think I have a bug on my ear. Is it an ant? Look at all the bird seed they put out here. Ouch! What the hell? It must be an ant. I have something on me. That's so loud. How come you can hear me sniffing so much? I wonder if I turn my gain up on accident. I should probably turn it down. You know, so you can't hear me sniffle and stuff. So you can't hear me sniffle and stuff. There he is, theme park giant. This is in Hollywood. I already have a rating progress. I do? Huh. I didn't realize I did. Alright guys. Ant-Man, I know. Lights on. That's really mean. Poopy IRL. It says I have a stream, a raid in progress. I do not. My app is. That's what I get for making it with AI. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Try not to breathe heavy. I definitely have the sniffles though because reasons. Hmm. Yeah, my ability to raid has been compromised. Yeah. I don't know why, but Twitch says I can't raid, so I don't know. Start raid. Start raid. You have a raid in progress. Is the raid actually going? It doesn't say. I mean, anyway. It says, you know, Twitch's. Can I just enumerate all the ways Twitch's app sucks? That's why I made my own. But mine sucks too. I just need to find somebody to raid. At this point, I don't care. I might just go away.